Okay guys, today we're going to talk about correlations, and they're very simple. There's basically three different types of correlations. There's positive, negative, and no correlation. Co means together, and relation is kind of like a relationship. We're looking at two different variables and we're trying to see, is there a relationship between the two? And in our first example, we have weight and height. And as I'm going through these examples, you don't have to copy down the charts precisely. Kind of make a rough draft of what I have. So problem number 1, weight and height. If we look at this, we can see that as the height increases, right, we're going from 60 to 63 all the way to 75. The weight also increases, right? We're going from 90 to 150 to 110. So as height increases, weight increases. This is an example of positive correlation. As one increases, so does the other. You can notice that these dots are going up. And if we try to draw a line to kind of fit all of these dots, include as many dots as possible, we would have a line that looks something like this. It's not perfect because there's not a perfect relationship between weight and height, but it's what we call a line of best fit. Okay, so let's look at another problem, another example. Here we're looking at flu jabs given versus people with flu. And in this problem, what can you tell me about the dots? Well, they all seem to be going down. As the number of flu jabs increases, the people with flu seems to be decreasing. The number seems to be going down. So this is what we will call a negative correlation, because as one variable increases, the other one decreases, which makes sense because flu jabs are intended to prevent flu. So the more flu jabs that are given to a number of people, the less people that are going to have flu. Okay, so again, this is an example of negative correlation. There is a negative relationship. And the third example, which is our last example, again, you don't have to have all the dots on your paper when you copy this down. Just give me a rough sketch. What can you tell me about these dots? Well, they're scattered everywhere. They're not going up, so this is not a positive correlation, and they're not going down either. They're kind of all over the place. And in this example, we can actually say that there is no relationship, there is no correlation. And I wrote too much. Let me write it down here. There is no correlation. Here we're comparing the average time spent watching TV in a week versus the size of the television. And there appears to be no connection between how much time you spend watching television and the size of your TV. If you want to watch television, you're going to watch television, whether you're watching it on a 50-inch TV or a small 24-inch TV. Okay, so now that we kind of have an idea of what positive, negative, and no correlation look like, let's do one example. The coaches of a group of debate teams answered a survey about hours of debate, team practice, and number of team wins. The graph shows the results of the survey. So here we're looking at a graph, and just because I have dots, I have different points, I'm going to draw a line of best fit. It's not perfect, but it kind of has the same amount of numbers above as it does below, and it's very close to all the dots. Again, I didn't even read the problem. I kind of just drew a line of best fit. But let's read the question. Based on these results, if a team practices 4 hours per week next season, which is the best estimate of the number of debates the team can expect to win? So if they practice 4 hours, hours of practice per week, notice that this is where the x-axis would be. This would be our independent variable. Because remember, X and Y went to the doctor, but they couldn't be seen because they didn't have an ID. So if they practice 4 hours per week, which is right here, how many debates would they be expected to win? Well, I go up. My line of best fit says that they would be expected to win 16 debates. So my answer is C, 16 debates. And if I look at my other answer choices, 1, which is A, is down here, which is completely off. Doesn't it make any sense? It's not even close to the other points. 12, which is B, is right here. And again, that's too low. The points are all above it. C is just perfect. And then D, which is 20, is all the way up here. And that is too far off. So it makes sense to say 16. And that is all you need. You do not need to copy this last example down. All you need is the first 3 examples in the notes. Make sure you bring your paper to class tomorrow. That is going to be our entrance ticket.